I got some creepers. What's up, YouTube? Took a drive down the end of the highway. It's a rainy day. I should be getting back into the car. We're going to do an auto vlog today. You can kind of see it's really bad overcast today. But we'll jump in the car where it's nice and warm and dry. Like I was saying, we're going to do an auto vlog today. I've been a little busy, and it's been a while since I've done an auto vlog, actually. I was doing a couple over the winter time just because of the cold and not being out in my garage. It was much easier to set up the cameras inside the car. I do have the second camera hooked up on the windshield, so we're going to get some footage out the front. And yeah, so I'm just going to get out onto the highway and start chatting about some stuff. So you might be asking, why am I not out in the 240? 240 is drivable, but it's not really highway worthy. There's still too many issues with it. The suspension's just all over the place. The car hasn't had an alignment yet. And I don't want to get into a situation where I'm just not going to be able to recover from something, because it does rain here all the time, as you can see. It's been great to drive in town, but really, I mean, there's still too many rattles, and the suspension just flops around too much for me to enjoy. I'd much rather drive the Impreza around. Getting a little bit too warm in here. Definitely got a little bit too busy this weekend to be working on the 240 at all, and or anything else for that matter. I got asked to work a few extra hours, and so I got busy doing that, and I just figured, well, the auto vlog would be relatively easy to do. I'd just go for a drive and have a chat with you guys. So I want to talk a little bit more about what Homebrew Subaru is about, a little bit more about me. We're coming into a construction zone here, so I gotta slow down a little bit. Don't want to get nailed. So yeah, a little bit more about me and Homebrew Subaru. I basically grew up in the Toronto area, and lots of cool cars around all the time. Always wanted to have a really cool car. I don't think I ever got a cool car in my life, though. I've had to try and build what I call cool cars. A lot of people would look at this car or the 240 and say that's just a shit box, and you know, they're, for the most part, they're probably right. But it's a different story when, you know, they try to say their car will outperform my car. Well, a lot of cases that's not true. So growing up in the city, you just kind of get that idea like you need something special, and being a mechanic, I realized, like, well, you can make something special, right? You can take something that's not special and make it truly original. So I went to school in the Toronto area. I graduated with automotive service technician. I passed the ministry exam with high enough mark that I got my Red Seal technician's license. A Red Seal basically means you graduate a little bit higher than your class, and they give you an interprovincial license, so you can work anywhere in Canada. You're not restricted to the province that you were licensed in. very beneficial for me because I ended up moving across the country. I moved to the East Coast and lived on the East Coast for close to 7 years. While living out there, the winter seasons are quite difficult driving a front-wheel drive car, or I suppose a rear-wheel drive car if you were trying to. So I eventually ended up with Subaru all-wheel drive, and I've never looked back. It was the first Japanese brand that I bought, and since owning a Subaru, I can just say I'll always own a Subaru for the rest of my years. I will own one the rest of my life. All these cyclists in the middle of nowhere in the rain. So that's where my Subaru venture really started, was out on the East Coast. I started doing a lot of reading online on all the major forums, and really getting a feel on doing my own self-teaching to see what I was able to do with minimal funds. And so as years went by, I realized that due to just the work environment and the cold winters and the lack of wages, I ended up deciding to look west for work, and eventually found a really good position out here. And so I ended up moving to northern British Columbia, and I've been here ever since, and that was probably about 3.5 years ago now. I basically packed this car to the roof with my possessions. The only thing I shipped was my toolboxes. Alright, I got stuck behind this guy here. And so since moving out here 3.5 years ago, I've been able to actually accumulate all the things that I have. I've bought a few more cars. I ended up buying a house. I've got a garage full of stuff. I'm not trying to brag that I've done better than other people, or disappointed that I haven't done as good as someone else. But for myself, in the conditions that I've been growing up in, and always buying tools, and you know, the wages that I've been getting, I've never been able to actually get to that point where I've gotten ahead. And I've finally, over this last couple years since I bought my home, I finally felt that way. It's, you know, the first time in my life, I finally feel like I'm not always living paycheck to paycheck, and it gets so difficult. And I'm glad it's a thing of the past. I ended up deciding I wanted to leave the trade. I had saved up quite a bit of money. Not necessarily left the trade, but I realized that working on cars day in, day out was not really my thing anymore. I love working on cars, but it gets so monotonous, and you start to build this cloud around you, because you get frustrated, and you're frustrated with some of the people you might be working with, or the cars you might be working with, the jobs that end up coming on some of those cars. Then you plop some electrical diagnostics over top of that, and your job becomes difficult. You take it home with you at night, you think about it a lot, and it's like you just don't stop working. Since bringing my toolboxes home, I've made a big change in my life. I've got a lot more energy, a lot happier, a lot more positive aura around me, I can tell. Just really started to enjoy the things that I have a little bit more. Bringing my toolboxes home made so many differences. Now I can just go out into the garage, work on my own stuff, maintain, fix, whenever I want to. I don't have to think about going to the shop, because all of my tools are there, or bringing them home to do something. It makes it so easy and so much more enjoyable. It's like my own little shop now, right? So with all that, it just made sense for me to start this YouTube channel and start making videos. I'm always out in the garage doing stuff. I've done my own build thread or basic blog written online for a long time, years now, and I could tell from the amount of views that I've always gotten from it, there was interest in what I was doing. So now I'm getting to the point where I can make videos twice a week now. It gives me something to look forward to the next week, and a lot more planning, and keeps my memory really good. So my channel can be compared to other garage channels, certainly. There seems to be a lot of vlog style garage channels, and I find a vast majority of them are just showing you before and after. They're showing you what they're going to do, and then they show you how they did it. And being a licensed technician, I'm constantly teaching people how to do stuff. So I can't, it's difficult for me not to show you exactly what I'm doing or how I do it, or willing to answer the questions, or possibly make a further video on what you might be asking. Because that's how people learn the best. You show somebody an example and explain it. It's a great way to become mechanically inclined without ever touching tools. Now with that said, not all of my videos can be how-tos or complete series of repairing a job, because those videos take a long time to do. They certainly take me longer than most of the videos that I make, and just making sure that I get in as many details as I can so that someone doesn't miss something. That's very important to me. I really appreciate all the support that I'm getting from viewers and fellow YouTubers. I really like watching a lot of the other channels out there. I'd like to plug some of them at some point, but I think I'm still too small, and I'd like to get some more subscribers and some more views going on my videos before I do so. So maybe the 250 subscriber mark, I'll do something like that. Because there's a lot of the channels out there that I do watch, and that I watch regularly. And for those few people that have actually given me the shout out on their channel, I can appreciate that more than anything else. Just hearing your own name on someone else's video is pretty cool. And I think from this point, as long as I keep on this steady path that I have going, my channel can only grow and get bigger. I don't see any reason why it won't. So I've actually got some time off coming up, and I will be taking a trip. I'm going to Toronto for about a week. I've got to visit friends and family. It's been a long time since I've been out there, and it's going to be finally good to get away from here for a little while. I do call this home now, but we're kind of isolated out here. There's not a whole lot around. You got to drive quite a far distance to get to something. And growing up as a city kid, it's taken years to adjust to this kind of lifestyle. But going back, I do enjoy myself quite a lot. And but I can only stay there so long, and then I just got to get the fuck out, because I can't. It's just the amount of people. I'm not used to it anymore. So yeah, more than likely while I'm out there, I'm probably going to be looking for some parts. I've got this suspension idea for the 240. I'm not so sure I want to do coils on that car, or not so sure I want to do coilovers on that car anymore. So I've been looking into a set of front struts, to be honest. But because I don't have any, I'm looking for top plates, and I got a feeling I'll probably find some while I'm out there, or some complete used struts that I'd be able to ship back to myself. You never know what else I might find when I'm going into some of the JDM shops. Given that I have enough time out there, it may be a possibility to do a little collaboration with another YouTuber. We've kind of mentioned it to each other, and I think it would be a good idea. It's just I don't have a lot of time out there, and it might not be possible, but we'll see. It would be kind of cool to do so. So hopefully I can get some really good content while I'm out there, and possibly make some more videos than I usually do, because I will have the time off and be able to get the footage if I can get it, and have the time to edit if I'm going to. Lots of crazy food that I need to gorge on, like Caribbean and sushi and Indian food and Korean barbecue, and probably lots more sushi, and so not so sure if I'll be making tons of videos of that, but there'll be something. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, because I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. Well, actually I do, but I don't want to bore you to death, so I'm not gonna bother. But if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Leave your questions and comments further down below, and I'll see you in the next one.